but our faculty for it are awesome women. We have Elizabeth Davies, who directs the Sound Harmony Chorus. She also co-directs the Seattle Sea Chordsmen and is a frequent presenter at educational events for Sweet Adelines and the Barbershop Harmony Society. Also with her is Sandy Cahill. She's been singing and studying music since the age of 7. My goodness, you youngster. Being a Sweet Adeline since 1988 has been a highlight of her musical and personal life. She's a Region 13 faculty member and assistant director for Pride of Portland Chorus. The third presenter in this group is Lucy Heinkel. Lucy is the director of the Rolling Hills Chorus and has been directing for 16 years. During that time, she's had the opportunity to learn at international and regional workshops, Harmony College, chorus coaching, and just the experience of being a director. She loves to take what she's learned and share it with others. So we now have 3 presenters that I will bring on as I can find them in the screen. And so Elizabeth, do you want to take it off and I'll bring them in as I can?
Actually, I'm going to start.
So. Good, because I picked your spotlight first. Okay.
So the 3 of us got together and kind of talked about some what we felt like were responsibilities for section leaders, and we kind of had our own areas of things that we were very passionate about, and so we kind of just broke it up, and we're each going to kind of take our own areas that we feel are important for you as a section leader, and kind of break those up for you. So I'm going to start real quick. I gotta share my screen. Okay, so I want you to think about going grocery shopping. There probably aren't very many of you that truly enjoy it. There may be a few of you, but I want you to think about how you do on your shopping trips when you go grocery shopping with a list and when you go grocery shopping without a list, and how are those experiences different? For me, if I go without a list, I'm like, oh man, I get home, I have something, I forgot something that I needed for a meal that I was planning to have, or something that I was totally out of that I needed to have. But I may end up with some extra things that I didn't really need. And so I know that for me, especially, having a list is very important for me to be successful in grocery shopping. I chose grocery shopping just because we all get to do it, and we all kind of realize what it's like. So if you can go grocery shopping without a list and always be successful, I'm very proud of you. But most people are not like that, okay? So I want to take a minute and let's talk about some different ways that section rehearsals can be better with or without a plan. So let's talk about the benefits of having a plan for sectionals. So if you'd like to share something, I can't see all of you, so just shout something out if there's something that you think of that is a benefit for having a plan for your sectional. Sorry, I'm trying to share my screen, and technology is wonderful, but also crazy. So, okay, so section rehearsals. What are some benefits of having a plan? So I'm going to write them down so you can, those of you that are visual can see what we're talking about. So go ahead, unmute and shout out your answers. I'm ready.
Stay focused.
Okay, stay focused. Great.
Better use of time.
Better use of time. Excellent. Keep them coming.
You don't forget things.
Okay. I'm going to say don't forget important things, especially. What else?
Pacing.
Pacing, I like that.
You know the plan.
Okay.
The other members of your section know the plan.
Oh, I like that. Okay. So the other, especially if you send your plan out ahead of time. So the other members of your section will know the plan.
Meeting unique needs. You'll be able
Uh-huh.
to address unique needs.
Okay, good.
Fixing problems.
Fixing problems. Anything else?
Helps you to get back on track if you get off track.
Okay, good. If you
Easier
I'm
to be
missing.
flexible.
Yeah. Sorry. Can you say that again?
It's easier to be flexible.
Easier to be flexible if you have a plan?
Yes.
How so? Explain that to me. I'm not saying you're wrong in any fashion. I want to understand better.
So like if you have an ambitious plan and you run out of time, if you know what the plan is, then you could pick and choose how you want to spend the rest of the time that's left in your.
Okay, yes, I see that. So you can prioritize the important things, maybe.
Okay.
Does that sound right to you? Okay, good. So yes, if your schedule is off with your timing, you can say, oh, I have these 3 things that I want to do, but I think this one's the most important, so I'm going to jump to that instead. I like it. Excellent. Anything else?
You need to listen. You have to listen to the group, see what they have to say and what their issues are.
Okay, so listening to the group. So how does that help how is that a benefit of the plan?
Well, if you have your plan and you know what you're working on, and someone has an idea or, like the timing on this is wrong, you need to listen and say, well, okay, we need to figure out what the problem is. So sometimes there's a group think thing going on that says, no, this is right, when in actuality it's wrong. So you need to listen and not discount what other members of your group are saying.
Okay, and it also could be something that's brought up at one point and maybe at a time that you don't have a chance to work on that, but section rehearsal is a great place to put that in, right?
Yes.
We can throw it in there and say, all right, we're going to try this and we're going to listen to how this is sounding and what's actually happening, right? So that's a great thing to put in your plan is have time to check these sections and listen. Okay. Anything else?
Reinforcing the director's plan.
Okay, great. I hope I'm spelling that right. You get to see my typing skills fast. All right, excellent. So those are all great things that are a benefit of a plan. Okay, so if we go into section rehearsals without a plan, sometimes we tend to always start at the beginning of the song, right? If we don't go with the plan, we're like, well, let's just sing it until we hear something that we should fix. Have you ever done section rehearsals and you're like, oh, great, we only got through the intro and the first verse, but we needed to get through everything. But then you go to the next section rehearsal and you start the beginning again and, oh, we never got to the end of the song. Okay, that can happen. Or if we just kind of get going with everything and then we only work on notes and words, then we don't get past any of that and work on artistry and dynamics and section unity and things like that. So those kind of things, often if we don't have a plan, we tend to miss the opportunity to share and focus in on the important things that we need. We may end up like our grocery list, grocery shopping. If we go without a list, we may end up with some yummy things that we really wanted, but it may not have been the best thing for us to have at that moment. Or we may end up without something that needed to be on our list and we forgot it. And so having this plan is excellent for us and keeps us focused. Okay. So I'm gonna go back. Sorry, I'm sending you back and forth a little, but let's oh. I have to share my screen first. Sorry. Okay, So I would like you to write down one way that a rehearsal plan will help improve your sectionals. So were there any of those ideas that stuck out to you like, oh, that would be really good for me? What would help you strengthen your ability? And if you don't usually have a plan, how are they going to help improve your sectionals? Okay, so take just a minute, think about that, and write that down. Now, you may have more than one idea that you thought was important, and that's great. I love it. But I want you to have at least one way that it's going to help you improve your sectionals, and let that kind of be your goal. Now, if you're like, Lucy, I just have no idea how to write a rehearsal plan or where to even start. So number one, you could check with your director and have them help you kind of come up with a basic plan for how to do that. If your director isn't really necessarily good at rehearsal plans themselves, then feel free to contact me. There are many regional faculty members as well that can help. But I just encourage you to have that plan so you can stay focused, you can hit the most important things and not just work on the beginning of the song, okay? So we want to have those things improving and going on. So, all right. So now I'm going to switch gears. Sorry, we didn't have a ton of time, so I'm fitting a lot of things in real quick. And Erin actually already talked about this a little bit. So what I want you to do is we are going to sing how we sang today. Okay, we're just going to sing like the first part of it. So let me get a pitch. Okay, so I'm just going to start just a few notes and you keep singing. I'll let you know when to stop. Okay, so here we go. Tomorrow's another day. Keep going. All right. That was okay. That was okay. Some of you kind of have COVID voice going on and there's a lot of raspiness and your breaks. We got to work on breath management, and I don't know, it was all right, but I think we really could have done a lot better than that. So I don't know. What did you think? Do you think it was okay, or do you think maybe we could do better? Or I can't, that was, yeah, or whatever. All right. Okay, so that's totally not me. I know it's hard to do, but just shout out to me. Answer. How did that make you feel when that was the information that you got after singing? How did it make you feel?
I'm thinking that you're the section leader and you should be telling us what we need to be working on.
Okay.
Catch us doing something right.
You feel defeated.
Yes. Rachel, I love that. I crushed her soul. And many of you are probably like, Lucy, I don't like you. This is not cool. I don't. Okay. So hopefully that's not the kind of information or spirit behind your critique that you're giving to your members, right? Okay. So we're going to try it again. And this time I'd like you to choose one thing that you're going to do better. Maybe you're going to have better posture. Maybe you're going to sing with better resonance. Maybe you're going to have a, lifted face and smile or anything. I want you to choose one thing that you're going to make better as you sing this song. Okay, here we go. Tomorrow's another day. Keep going. All right, excellent. I loved it. I loved it. It was so great. I loved how you improved on those things that you chose. Even though different people chose different things, we had improvement all around, and I saw better faces happening. I loved seeing all of that. It was so wonderful. Kathy and Linda, I saw you singing together. That was awesome. Your connection was great. So it was wonderful. I absolutely loved it. Okay. So obviously I couldn't hear any of you, but I'm sure it was fabulous and you did so well. So tell me now, how did that make you feel?
Successful.
Successful. Good.
Energized and
Valued.
ready to do it again and do better next time.
Excellent. I love that. Oh, a couple of people said inspired.
Valued.
Good. Valued. Oh, I can trust you. Excellent.
Ready to add one more thing to focus on.
Excellent. Yes. Because how many of you felt like you had success because you focused on that one thing and you're like, I did it. I did great. And so now you can add one more thing the next time you sing it and make that even better, right? A little overdone. Okay, I was going a little. I normally wouldn't go that far about being overdone, but yes, but that's true though. That's like what Aaron was talking about is the authenticity, right? I was going a little crazy, but for my point. But yes, it could be overdone if you're trying to be a little too unauthentic about it. Okay. Awesome. So it's fun now to see how many more of you are smiling after that, right? Many of you feel better about yourselves. You're like, yeah, I'm awesome. I can do this. This is great, right? And so you as a leader get to bring that positivity or bring the crush, right? You have a lot of power in those words that you use. So when Erin was saying all these things, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's like sharing all this great stuff. But I'm just going to add a couple things to what she was talking about. So during your sectionals, look for the strengths in your members of your section and praise them. So if, like I went to Kathy and Linda, I had noticed them singing together and making this connection while they were singing together, and I loved it, and it drew my attention to them. And so it helps them to be like, oh yeah, I did do that well. That was great. And so we want to make sure that we praise the great things that we hear. If you have a member who's been struggling with something and they've been working hard at it and you notice improvement, even if it is small, you go and tell them that you have noticed. Because if they are like, oh, my work is paying off, they're going to want to keep going. And that's what we want to do, and keep that forward thinking and inspiration going on. So be sure to encourage that as well. Okay. Now, if someone is struggling, I encourage you to offer them help outside of sectional time, rather than, oh, you're really struggling here, I think maybe we better blah, blah, blah. People don't want that announced to everybody, right? You want to praise in public, tell them all these great things, and tell them, hey, let's work on something together in private, so that they know that you care about them, but that that they want to improve. So the way Erin said, make sure that you encourage them that, hey, do you want to get better? Here are some things I can help you do. And so one good thing to do is always tell them a couple things. I love this about your voice. You're doing this really great. And then I've noticed that maybe you're struggling a little bit with this. How can I help you? Or maybe would you be interested in some ideas that I have to help you improve? So again, share some positive first before you bring in the other, and then again, praise at the end, so that it's kind of like the positivity sandwich. So we always have positives on either end. Okay. Most people can handle the middle a little more if they get the positive on each side. And so we want to build confidence in our members, in each member of our section. Okay. So let me go back to here. So always be positive. Even if you don't feel like it, find a way to be positive. And sometimes it's harder than others, but people, like how many of you, if I had shared the information the first time after you sang how we sang today, how many of you would want to come back? Or you'd be like, I don't really need this. Like, this is supposed to be fun. And we want to make sure that we're staying positive so that it's an opportunity for our members to grow and to build. Okay. All right. So your next assignment, and some of you, because you have bigger sections, this is going to take a little while. And I know that I'm over my time a little bit anyway, but I want you to write this down and then you can continue to work on it through the weekend. But I want you to identify at least one strength or quality in each member of your section. Okay, so identify at least one strength or quality in each member of your section. Now, if you're like, I don't even know the names of all the members of my section, well, that would be a good place to start, because if they don't feel like you know them, they also are not going to feel the connection that they need. Hopefully that's not the case and you all know the members of your section. But if there are some that you're like, I really just don't know much about them, I encourage you to get to know them. Find something about them, text them and be like, hey, how are you today? Or what's going on? Or, and you know, anything like that. It can be something super simple, but that they know that you know who they are and that they're a part of your section. Okay. So that's another one of your goals for the weekend. Some of you will be able to do this really quick. You're like, I got 2 people in my section and I got it figured out already. Okay. All right. So any questions? I kind of just gave you a lot of stuff really quick. But any questions that you have, you can shout them out or put them in the chat is good. And I put my email address here for you so that if you have any questions or just need help trying to figure some things out, feel free to email me and I am always happy to help. All right, well, if there are no questions, I am going to pass it off to my friend Elizabeth Davies, and she's going to give you the next step. That is something that she is very passionate about, and she's going to be awesome. So take it away, Elizabeth.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lucy. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully everybody can hear me and somebody will jump in if you can't hear me. My name is Elizabeth Davies. I'm the director of Sound Harmony Chorus and the co-director with Melanie McGuire of the Seattle Sea Chordsmen. My topic is the section leader as voice teacher and artist. And this is a subject that is very near and dear to my heart because I've been in Sweet Adelines for about 11 years and I've been a section leader for at least 10 of those. And I love being a section leader. I've been a section leader in AJOY, I've been a section leader in Olympia, and currently I'm a section leader in Song of Seattle, and I just enjoy the heck out of it. As section leaders, there's often a dilemma that we wrestle with. We know that sectionals are supposed to be more than just learning notes and words, but we don't necessarily feel qualified to do more. So my goal is to have you redefine the role of section leader today to include voice teacher and artist. And I'm going to show you how to do this in your next sectional. I'm going to give you some examples of ways that you can be a voice teacher and be an artist in your next sectional rehearsal. So let's talk about the section leader as voice teacher. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Elizabeth, I'm just a section leader. I'm not a voice teacher. I don't have a degree in vocal pedagogy. I'm not a music educator. I'm just a gal who loves to sing. Well, that's great. And it's good to have appropriate humility as a section leader. However, my hero, Rob Mance, likes to say that the second you give a singer an instruction, verbal or not, you are influencing the sound they are producing. You are, by definition, a voice teacher. Okay, so if you are in a position of leadership in your chorus, you're going to influence the sound of that chorus for better or worse, right? Every time we work with singers, we make a choice to reinforce desirable habits or to reinforce undesirable habits? Now, I'm going to be focusing on one of the most fundamental elements of good barbershop where every section leader can be a useful voice teacher, and that's the area of alignment. Okay, so let's imagine that I'm running a baritone sectional. And everybody in the section just happens to be standing like the singer on the left in this picture. There is no way that we're going to produce our freest, most resonant tone. And that's because the singer on the left is slouching with her head forward of her shoulders. And that slouching creates extra pressure on the vocal tract. That extra pressure is going to affect pitch accuracy, it's going to affect resonance, and it's going to make it harder to unify the section. So even if you don't know all the mechanics involved here, I bet everybody in this Zoom presentation recognizes it's better to have your singers standing like the woman on the left than standing like the woman on the right. Now you're probably thinking, but Elizabeth, everyone in my section already knows about alignment. We talk about alignment all the time in rehearsals. And if I remind them about alignment, it's just going to be annoying. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Good section leaders, just like good directors and good voice teachers, are in the reminding business. That's what we do. If you want to ensure that your singers have a wonderful time while you are reminding them of things over and over again, all you have to do is follow these 2 rules, okay? Rule number 1, continually switch up your teaching strategies to avoid sounding like a broken record, okay? And I'm going to give you some examples of how to do that. And rule number 2, never, ever, ever, ever tell your singers they're doing something wrong. Instead, give them a task that will achieve the result you're looking for and then celebrate the improvement. Okay, Lucy was just talking about this, and we remember at the beginning of the evening, Aaron mentioned that heart-wrenching story about the bass who was showered with criticism. We never, ever, ever want to shower anybody with criticism. So never tell a section you're slouching and that's why you're flat. Okay, that's just poor pedagogy. It's completely demoralizing and it's unnecessary. Instead, give them a task to do that will correct their alignment and then say, wow, what an improvement in the sound when we all adjusted our alignment. So here are 3 strategies you could implement immediately in a sectional rehearsal. First of all, just remind your singers. I know we're all still learning notes. Let's hold our music up so that we aren't bending our heads down. Simple reminder, nothing wrong with that. But let's say you want to remind them again later on in the rehearsal. What can you do to avoid sounding like a broken record? You can make a plan. We're nearly solid on the notes. Let's sing this page one more time with the intention of memorizing it, and then we'll put the paper down and focus on singing with our best instrument. Whoops. There we go. Number 3, engage the imagination. Let's all put on our invisible crowns and stand with a regal presence and see what that does for our section sound. Wow, did you hear that difference? So here are 3 different strategies to improve your section's alignment. Notice the sneaky way that all 3 strategies improve alignment without being in any way critical of anybody's alignment and without being repetitious. Okay, so if you follow those 2 rules, change up your strategies, and never criticize anybody, just give them a task to do that will get the desired result and then celebrate the result. You can remind them over and over and over again, and they will beg for more. Let's talk about the section leader as artist. As a section leader, I recommend that you give yourself permission to model artistic expression in the sectional. This will give your singers permission to sing artistically as well. And we all deserve to sing artistically every chance we get. Now you might be thinking, Elizabeth, I'm just a section leader. Shouldn't I wait for the director to say what kind of artistic expression she wants? Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever heard your director say this? As a director, I want my singers to sing inartistically and unemotionally until I give them specific instructions to do otherwise. No, you have never heard your director say that, because no director anywhere has ever said that, right? We want singers to practice what they're going to perform on stage. That means practicing at A level all the time. And that means singing artistically and emotionally all the time, as much as we can. So here are 3 strategies to inspire artistic expression in your section. Once again, just remind them. I love how unified and in tune we sound. Now let's go ahead and allow ourselves to start investing emotionally in the poetry of the lyrics. My favorite line or word or image is, let's say, happy little bluebirds fly. Okay, just remind them that they are singing poetry. Make a plan. What would happen if we sang this line with a feeling of increasing urgency, making the breath at the end the moment of greatest urgency? Let's see if that helps propel us emotionally into the next phrase. Engage the imagination. We're so solid on the notes and words. Let's level up the artistry. Show me how your favorite performer would sing this beautiful ballad. I'm going to channel Judy Garland. And then everybody does it and you say, that was fantastic. I was watching Sally and Ann and they both gave me chills, right? Lucy just mentioned this. Catch your singers doing something great and celebrate it, and watch how the whole section just suddenly stands taller and is more emotionally engaged. Notice again how sneaky these are. You're just reminding the section over and over again of something they've heard a million times, but they need the reminders. And as long as you change up your strategies and you are never critical and you give them tasks and then celebrate the results, you can keep reminding them over and over and they will just beg for more. So to conclude this little section of our presentation, in every section rehearsal that you lead, be a teacher. Challenge your singers to sing with their best vocal technique. And be an artist. Model artistic exploration so that your singers will give themselves permission to be artists as well. And now it is time for the lovely and amazing Sandy Cahill. Take it away, Sandy.
Hello, everybody from New York City. How you guys doing? I'm Sandy Cahill. And I am excited to be here tonight. Thank you, Nancy and Rachel, for organizing this and all the great content we've had so far. And I'm going to try to make up some time. I'm going to throw a lot of content at you, and feel free to reach out with any questions. I'll have my email up at the end, and you can email out to any one of us. Whoops. Oh, great. Okay, hold on one moment, please. I'm going to share this screen. I hit the wrong button. Just hang there once. I don't have my usual technology with me. I'm working off of a tablet tonight, so hang in there with me if you would. Google Drive. No, sorry. Just a sec. How did I know this was going to happen? Okay, here we go. Ugh, hold on one second, please. Here it is. Okay. Let's try that again. Sharing a screen. Can you see that? It says voice of the director on it.
No.
Not
No.
yet.
Not
You're
yet.
not sharing. No.
How about now? No.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
So sorry.
You're not
Thought I
sharing
had-
the screen.
Okay, one sec. Let's try it again. Thought this was going to be quick and easy. Going back to Zoom. It's just. All right, let's try it again. Oh, somebody tell some jokes or something, will you?
Sometimes on a tablet, it makes it harder. You cannot share certain things.
I have such a beautiful presentation, though.
Sandy, I have the original one you sent, and I can share it if you want. I don't know how many changes you made.
That would be awesome. We can talk through the changes.
Okay.
I think that would be the best thing to do right now.
Okay,
I
Lucy.
probably made a ton of changes, but I'll bring them up.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks, Rachel. I appreciate the jokes.
Oh, for sure. Maybe I'll share them at the end of tonight.
Okay, here we go.
Sandy, I'm going to unspot you so that Lucy can run the screen, but you'll be able to talk.
Okay, great. Let's hope it's pretty recent anyway.
Yeah. Well, now I have to, let me see, I have to download it real quick.
No pressure.
Yeah.
So I do have time for jokes, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Go for it.
I'll start with my favorite. Two drums and a cymbal roll down a hill. All right. Oh, what's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana.
Oh, yay! Thank you. You've saved us from Rachel's jokes. Okay, so my portion of this, which I promise will be quick, is the voice of the director and how, as section leaders, we can help the director create unity in the chorus. And next slide, please. We're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about how you can become the voice. You'll understand how to amplify your director's voice. You'll have a couple of tools in your toolkit, and you know, this is something that we work on constantly to get better at becoming the voice of the director. And I think Erin said this earlier about, you know, doing one thing a day that stretches your comfort zone. And I just love that too. I don't know if I practice it every day, but I think it's a great way to live life. So the next slide we'll talk, I stole a line from Elizabeth. I'm just a section leader. I'm not a director. But just by being the section leader, you are the voice of your director. You amplify her voice. You have influence and sway, whether you know it or not. You can inspire the way Erin was talking earlier and become someone who is the inspiration for someone else in your chorus too. But you have to start by understanding your director's goals and how to get to reach her goals, and make them your own as well. And when that happens, you'll all become a better unit. And so unity is the big word. On the next slide, you'll see that is job one. It's in all four categories, right? We all know our categories well enough. Look at the score sheets and sorry about the showmanship. We know that it's now called visual communication. That was a minor change that I made. But sound is 70%, unit sound is 70% of the sound category. In the music category, the words musical unity is all over those score sheets. In the expression category, synchronization and unity is one of the technical elements. And in visual communications, performance is 70% of the points, and unity is a big part of showmanship, visual communications. So I have a quick question for you guys on the next slide, and you can unmute yourselves and yell out the answer. if 70% of the sound category is unit sound, which of the answers on the side represents the other 30%?
Artistic sound.
Yes, that was a really hard question, wasn't it? But yeah, it's artistic sound. So performance, artistic plan, costumes, those are all very helpful, but we really need artistic sound. So continuing on, to become the voice of the director, section leaders have to understand why the director does what she does, or he, but I'm going to refer to your director as a woman now, and you'll have to take exception if he's a man. Is it because she loves music, or is she a music educator, or is it her goal in life to become a first place international director? Understanding what her motivation is will help you become the voice of the director. Understand what got her to be in front of the chorus. Did she always want to be a director? Did she step off the risers and help out the chorus? Did she slowly come to the realization? Find out what got her there and understand that better. And then where does she want to be in a few years from now? Is this a competitive chorus? Is this a fun chorus? Is it a community chorus? What are the goals of the chorus and the director? And how does your director intend to meet those goals? Knowing all of those things, like Lucy was talking about, have a plan. You need to have a plan, and the plan has to support the goals of the chorus and the director. So it all comes together in your sections and in each rehearsal. Awareness on the next slide, and keen observation is super important for you to become the voice of the director. So being aware of how she manages the chorus rehearsal. What's the attitude in the room? What's the tone? Is there a lot of laughter? Is it positive? The way that we really want it to be. Is it fun? Is it educational? Does she mix up the time? Does she rely on tracks, or does she teach notes, or is it a mixture of both? What are the different styles of learning that she relies on in order to teach? How does she interpret songs? And it's really incumbent upon section leaders, as they become the voice of the director, to understand breaths, rhythms, and the exact interp as it changes and evolves, so that you can be that, amplify the voice accurately. If you don't know the answer, it's certainly understandable and you can find out, but the more you know, the better off you are. Take notes and be aware of everything that happens at rehearsal. Is the schedule loose or tight? How are the warm-ups? Just knowing how she thinks through each rehearsal plan will help you be a better section leader. And then the next slide will have a couple of things to put it into action. So communication is the key with you and your director. If you're a new section leader, even if you're not a new section leader, have a meeting with her to discuss her plan and to figure out how you can amplify her voice. And then let her know what your plan is, and make it a collaborative scenario so that you support her and she supports you. Know your stuff, shadow her, take notes during rehearsals. If you need to have a clipboard and actively take notes as she changes the interp, if she does, or adds or changes breaths, that's a great way to keep track of it, or record it and do it afterwards. Keep your communications open with your director ongoingly. And then during section rehearsals, let your sections know how this all works and how it all comes together, and apply. Somebody said this earlier, one new skill at each sectional, either a new skill for them or a new skill for you as you learn a brand new way to teach. So as a wrap up for this, I just want to kind of conclude that you need to know how to be the director, the voice of the directors, know her plan as well as she does, add her goals to yours, be ready to step in and answer questions on her behalf, and emulate style while still having your own, and be consistent with the way she teaches. And if you don't know anything, I'm sure you will find a way to find out. So I just want to thank you for coming tonight. Thanks to Elizabeth and to Lucy for all the great information. Feel free to, yes, and be supportive of the director. Feel free to reach out to any one of us if you have questions. It's been an honor for all of us to be have your time this evening. And again, thanks to Rachel and Nancy for pulling this all together.